Hello everyone, it's the Chicken here once again, and welcome to the very first episode of Mortal Kombat Monday. Now, I'm actually cutting it very close because it's actually Monday at the time I'm recording this, but I digress. Anyway, for the very first episode, I thought I would expand on a video idea that I have tried to do in the past. And that video was originally on what I thought was my favorite brutality in Mortal Kombat 11. However, in the 3 months since then, I've discovered more and more brutalities that I feel deserve some time in the spotlight. Now, I want to make one thing clear. Even though this is technically a countdown list, I'm not ranking these brutalities in any order. Because I feel like saying so-and-so's brutality is better than that brutality is being unfair, because there is a criteria for judging brutalities. But I'm not here to talk technicality fodder, I'm just here to show some awesome brutalities. So without further ado, here's my list of my favorite brutalities in MK11.
Can I say it? Just once?
Only if you wish to suffer.
Get over here!
First up, we have Aaron Black with his Is Something Burning brutality. Now, what makes this brutality interesting at first is that there are no requirements for it. You don't have to do certain moves during the match, you don't have to hit a certain combo prior, and you don't have to hit a certain buff active. None of that.
Straight to business. I like it.
All you have to do is just do the TNT toss at the end and you're all set. Now, at first, this brutality seems tricky, because your opponent needs to be either on top of the dynamite or right next to it. Now, I'm pretty sure you can hold on to the stick, unlike what you see in this clip where I was just tossing it freely and hoping for the best. I'm sure you can time it a lot better than I was doing, but once you pull it off, it's an awesome brutality.
Brutality. Buzzard bait.
Now, what I find hilarious about this brutality is the fact that your opponent just picks up the stick of dynamite like, oh, what is this, a candle? Now, of all characters, it's the most believable that Jackie is doing it. Yeah. But regardless, it's still hilarious, and just that alone earns it a spotlight for me. Now we're off on a very dark road with noob sidebots and wow out brutality. Now, unlike Aaron's, there is a requirement to pull this one off, but it's very basic that even Sophia mains and Rainbow Six Siege can pull it off. There's one thing you need to do before you start playing as noob, and that you need to equip the Shadow Portals move and abilities beforehand. Now that you have it equipped, now you're ready to wreck some noobs. See what I did there? Well, anyway, the only requirement you really need is that you gotta amplify Shadow Portals, and also you gotta hold the L1 button or the left bumper when you do the move. That's it. And once you do it, it's truly a thing of art. Next up, we have Sonya Blade's Kill Shot. No, not that kill shot. Now, this one is a little trickier than noobs, is due to the fact that in order to pull off the brutality correctly, you need to call it the cat turret a total of 3 times during the match. And the same thing as noobs. You need to equip the cat turret and abilities beforehand, so make sure you do that. Now, I'm also pretty sure that you also need to have it pounce on your opponent 3 times as well. It's not the hardest thing to do in the world, but it has its obstacles, especially at higher difficulties as well as online.
Prisoners.
That's just like noob's brutality. What makes this hilarious is that it keeps on going, but it never stops. I don't know why, but whenever there's a brutality where they just keep on going, it's always hilarious. Am I psychotic? Yes. And I love it. Now, speaking of Kano, next up is his Look What I Found. Now, this one was actually different from the past 2 clips due to the fact that this brutality actually requires you to show mercy at the end of the match. Now, besides that though, the only other requirement or 2 requirements put in for that matter, is that you need to perform the fake jam combo, I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that correctly, and you also need to equip the manhandled special move and abilities before the match. But besides that, it's pretty simple.
Sorry, mate. Job's a job.
Kano wins.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is a take of Sub-Zero's classic MK1 fatality, where he rips someone's head and spinal cord out. But instead, here in Mortal Kombat 11, Kano just goes, why not rip out his entire skeleton instead? Kano, you're metal as fuck in my book. Now, staying with the nice folks over at the Black Dragon, we have Cabal with the Screamer brutality. Now, just like Kano's, this one also requires you to show mercy, and it also requires you to amplify Cabal's Gas Blast ability. This one, well, actually just watch it, and you'll see why it's on the list. Now, I love this, not only because it's a funny as hell brutality, but it's also a callback to Cabal's face scare, I believe that's what it's called, Cabal's face scare fatality from Mortal Kombat 3. So, it's an instant win for me. Now it's Johnny Cage's turn to spotlight now for his At the Door brutality. Now this one's actually very similar, if not the actual exact same, as Sonya's brutality. You will need to perform Mime Time 3 times during the match in order for it to work. And this may actually be harder than Sonya's Cat Tantrum, because Johnny's Mime Time, it depends on either pure luck or your opponent's stupidity for it to work. Especially on higher difficulties, especially in the Towers of Time or online. But once you do it, it's both weird yet awesome.
Game over, man.
Now, for those of you who are unaware, in the Mortal Kombat lore, one of Johnny Cage's films is called Ninja Mind. And NetherRealm managed to work that part of Johnny Cage's backstory / personality / character and work that into one of his brutalities, and it actually works. You gotta love it, man. Next is Katana Khan with Deadly Lips. Now, just like Cabal's brutality, where it was a callback to one of his older fatalities, this is the same story for Katana with her own Kiss of Death fatality from, I believe, Mortal Kombat 3. This one is also simple, where you only need to perform a mercy, and the last thing needs to be a back throw. Very self-explanatory, but also very cool.
It's the dawn of a new reign.
Man, I wish I could go like that. Oh, worship Fire God Liu Kang with his insert coin brutality. This one is actually the same as Katana's. You need to show mercy, it's also a back throw, and it's also a callback to his old arcade drop fatality. Watch. There really is nothing else to say about this other than the fact that you kill your opponent with an arcade machine. Life is good, and it's called the Mortal fucking Kombat. Next is Petty Kung Lao with Bad Buzz, and yes, this one does have different requirements than Liu Kang and Katana's. However, this one can be difficult depending on whether you're playing on higher difficulties or you're playing online, because in order to perform it, you cannot lose a round. You heard me right. Now, besides that, there is one other requirement, and that is to hold your left thumbstick towards your opponent when you perform the toward throw.
Clearly, I'm better.
Simple yet effective, and also oddly satisfying. I need help. Next up is my main man Spawn with Shredded. Now for this one, you not only need to amplify his Blaze of Glory ability, but you also will have to hold down on the left thumbstick. In my opinion, probably the most badass brutality so far. Oh my god, Spawn's awesome and you cannot change my mind! Next up is my favorite character from MK9 for very obvious reasons, and that is Jade with her What Would Melina Do brutality. Now just like Ares brutality, I also had trouble performing this one due to the fact that you need to amplify Jade's pole vault. Now that doesn't sound too hard, but here Baraka was being stubborn as all hell because I'm pretty sure I was playing on medium difficulty, and it took forever to pull off. Not to mention, you also need to mash square and triangle buttons with lands, or X and Y buttons on Xbox. I have no clue what you press on PC. Anyway, once you actually pull off the frickin' thing, you'll be greeted by this beauty.
Was the only way out.
Now, to me, this is like a win-lose situation here. Well, on one side, you're losing due to the fact that you're basically getting prison shanked in the head and the face, but you're also winning due to the fact that you're also getting squished by Jade's thighs. Oh, tough decision. And at last, you have to dominate with no bargaining. This one, actually, just watch.
Brutality.
Mission complete.
There. That's why. Now, all you need to do to pull off this brutality is just perform the say goodbye combo, and boom. You'll be saying hasta la vista and I need a vacation in no time.
I need a vacation.
And that's it. All my favorite brutalities in MK11. Now, these are my favorites, definitely for right now, but more can be added because I haven't seen all of them yet. In that case, I might make a part 2 in the future, but for right now, these are the ones I've been pulling off, offline as well as online. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all next time. Later.